Hey everyone, good morning. Happy Thursday, TGIT. Thank God it's Thursday. Welcome to the CyberHub Engage podcast. James Azar. We've got a really busy day and I want to get started. But for those watching us on YouTube Live, thank you so much for tuning in. For those listening on their favorite podcast listening platform, make sure you subscribe. For those watching us live, let's get going. So today's Thursday, January 23rd, and here are our headlines for today's daily cyber briefing. Iranian hacking campaign is targeting European energy companies. Cisco is asking people to please patch this critical firewall bug. EMOTET malware alert sounded by the US cybersecurity agency. The Saudis hacked Jeff Bezos of Amazon's phone. And thousands of WordPress sites have been hacked to fuel a massive scam campaign. And now for your daily cyber briefing, brought to you by our friends at Get Smart Eye Technologies. Go to getsmarteyetechnology.com to download the first of its kind biometric document app that secures your business and your privacies from wandering eyes and hackers. Go to smarteyetechnology.com now for more information. And let's get into today's first story. A hacking campaign with suspected ties to Iran has targeted the European energy sector in what's thought to be a reconnaissance mission aimed at gathering sensitive information. The network intrusion at the energy company has been detailed by researchers at cybersecurity company Recorded Future. The Poopy RAT software used by the attackers is open source malware and can infiltrate Windows, Linux, OS X, and Android to give hacker access to the victim's systems, including username, passwords, and sensitive information across the entire network. Despite the open source nature of the malware, Puppy Rat is prominently linked with Iranian state backing hacking campaigns, particularly by a group known as APT-33, and has previously been deployed in attacks targeting critical infrastructure. Now, researchers have identified the malware as having been used in attacks that took place between November of 2019 and January of 2020. Here's what this means, that this campaign started before Trump killed Soleimani. This is not a reaction, but this was rather one of Soleimani's many ways of targeting and putting pressure on the EU energy sector of working with Iran. Researchers haven't been able to identify the exact method of delivery, but think the malware is distributed via spear phishing attacks. Previous APT-33 campaigns have involved attackers posing as individuals and gaining the trust of potential victims before eventually sending a malicious document. However, researchers did see high-volume network traffic from the targeted company in the energy sector, repeatedly communicating with command and control infrastructure associated with previous Poppy Rat campaigns, enough evidence to believe that the network had been compromised in what's believed to be an espionage campaign. Our sense is that given the network activity, we're seeing access to this kind of sensitive information about energy allocation and resourcing would be valuable for specific adversaries. Enabling operations or destructive attack takes this type of months-long reconnaissance and insight into the behavior of officials at these companies and understanding how a certain capability could impact information or distribution of energy resources. Energy companies are frequent targets of cyber attacks. Researchers note that attempts at hacking these networks can often be foiled with security procedures like simple two-factor authentication implementation across the network, ensuring that passwords are complex and not reused on multiple systems, and also monitoring attempted login attempts to the network that could reveal something suspicious. Iran has always been a volatile state actor when it comes to this stuff. They're going to continue to be that way for the foreseeable future, at least for 12 to 18 months. You can see more in my prediction of how Iran's APTs are going to operate on our website at cyberhubengage.com. I've got a two-part story, and the third part I'm publishing next week on some of the insights I have on Iran's APTs, and after the killing of Soleimani, what that means to all of us. So more on that next week, but you can do more now by going to cyberhubengage.com. So Cisco is urging customers to update its Firepower Management Center software after users informed it of a critical bug that attackers could exploit over the internet. Like many Cisco bugs, the flaw was found in the web-based management interface of its software. The bug has a severity rating of 9.8 out of a possible 10 and mean admins should patch sooner rather than later. 9.8, folks. The vulnerability is caused by a glitch in the way of Cisco software handles lightweight directory access protocol, LDAP, and authentication responses from an external authentication server. Remote attackers could exploit the flaw by sending specially crafted HTTP requests to the device itself. Devices are vulnerable if they've been configured to authenticate users of the web interface through an external LDAP server. The networking company recommends that admins go to System, then to Users, then to External Authentication to see whether it's been configured for external LDAP authentication. You guys can obviously see some of this information on our website at cyberhubengage.com. We'll have this there, also on our Twitter page, Facebook page, LinkedIn, and on my personal Medium page, where I will have this advertised and posted as well shortly after this podcast. How customers could remediate the issue will depend on which release of Firepower Management Center they're running. There's no workaround, but hot fix patches are available for several new releases of FMC, and maintenance releases that address the flaw are scheduled for later this year. Customer may install a fix by either upgrading to a fixed release by installing a hot fix patch, according to Cisco. Cisco recommends that customers on FMC earlier than 6.1.0, which is no longer supported, migrate to a supported version. However, there's a hot fix available there as well. Customers on 6.2.0, 6.2.1, and 6.2.2 should migrate to a new version, such as FMC release 6.2.3, which has the patch available, and we'll see a maintenance release in February. While a maintenance release is coming for systems on 6.3.0 in May, release 6.3.0 also has a patch available now. FMC release 6.4.0 needs to apply patches or upgrade to release 6.4.0.7, while customers on FMC 6.5.0 need to upgrade to 6.5.0.2. And if I've confused you with all of these numbers, like I've stated, go to cyberhubengage.com and you can see everything you need to patch there. The researchers also reported that the flaw has released a proof of concept exploit code, but Cisco says it hasn't been made aware of any malicious use of these flaws. Before we continue, February 4th, live podcast in Dallas, welcoming our new sponsor to that event, our friends over at Remediate, who will be joining us on stage, JD, who will be one of our panelists, joining me and Patrick Benoit, the BISO at CBRE, and with me and Mark Hopt, we have a special guest that I will announce next week. So make sure if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you can pre-register now at cyberhubengage.com. Tickets will be going on sale very, very soon, so do that now. We move to one of our main stories today, where the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, warned that it's seeing a surge in targeted attacks using a sophisticated strain of malware called EMOTET, one that we've been talking about every single week here, if not daily, on the CyberHub Engage Daily Cyber Briefing. Chris Krebs, the CISA's director, said in a tweet on Wednesday, "Heads up, we're tracking a spike in EMOTET and re-upping defensive guidance." While EMOTET started life as a banking Trojan, over the past 5 years, developers have added additional functionality, including making the malware a drooper, aka downloader, so that it can be used to install malicious code on endpoints it's infected, as well as giving it the ability to scrape victims' PC for contact information. In addition, other attackers have increasingly rented EMOTET botnets to install malware, including trick bots and other various strains of ransomware attacks. Now, CISA says it's seeing a fresh surge in attacks. The alert reads that EMOTET is a sophisticated Trojan that commonly functions as a downloader or dropper of other malware. The statement continues to say EMOTET primarily spreads via malicious email attachments and attempts to proliferate within a network by brute forcing user credentials and writing to shared drives. If successful, an attacker could use an EMOTET infection to obtain sensitive information. Such an attack could result in proprietary information and financial loss, as well as disruption to operations and harm to reputation. CISA's alert points to the DHS EMOTET guidance issue, which you can see on our screen now. as it recognizes the TTPs of how EMOTET goes through and identifies. If you're listening, you can go to our website, like I've been saying, or to our Twitter page, LinkedIn, or any one of our social media accounts at CyberHub Engage to see how this works. You can download it and spread it to your team as well. EMOTET has many tricks up its sleeve. For example, one EMOTET module gives attackers the ability to grab the first 8 kilobytes of every email in a victim's email inbox and send it back to the botnet's command and control server, this according to SecureWorks. Attackers then use the stolen data to craft socially engineered spam. EMOTET's reuse of stolen email content is extremely effective, according to Cisco's Talus. Once they have swiped a victim's email, EMOTET constructs new attack messages in reply to some of the victim's unread email messages, quoting the body of real email messages in the thread. As a first step, CISA recommends to secure, block, manage, filter, restrict, authenticate, segment, and restrict. Researchers say EMOTET, first seen in the wild more than 5 years ago, continues to be primarily spread via spam. In its early days, this involved malicious JavaScript attachments before switching to use Office docs. We first started talking about the EMOTET banking Trojan here in 2016. I've been talking about it since 16. We've been talking about it since we've started this podcast, talking about trick bots, and EMOTET is the godfather of all of that. In 2019, at least in the first half, EMOTET was the most seen type of non-targeted malware in the wild, followed by the trick bot, and which was a cryptocurrency miner. Most recently, other people have been using EMOTET as a botnet to infect crypto locking malware such as Bitpaymer and Ryuk. Krebs says that these types of defenses are especially important. I have all the defenses guides by CISA, again, available on our website at cyberhubengage.com. I want to move to our next story, where the mobile phone of Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos was hacked using a malicious file sent directly from the official WhatsApp account of Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, investigators have reportedly found. Hackers stole sensitive information from Bezos' phone within hours of the hack, according to a digital forensic analysis of Bezos' phone conducted by FTI Consulting, a Washington-based business advisory group. The digital forensic analysis concluded with medium to high confidence that the attack was carried out on May 1st using a malicious video file sent from the Saudis' prince's WhatsApp account. I wonder what was the video all about. I wonder if it was like one of those funny videos, like, "Here, Jeff, look, I have very funny video to share with you. Play." And Jeff Bezos is like, "Ha ha 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 ha," infected. I mean, sorry, a little bit of humor to this thing, but this is freaking hilarious. The Saudis' prince's WhatsApp account was the way Bezos got infected. Very, very interesting to say the least. The information we received suggests the possible involvement of the Saudi Crown Prince in surveillance of Bezos in an effort to influence, if not silence, the Washington Post reporting on Saudi Arabia, especially around the killing of journalist Jamil Khashoggi. Part of the forensic analysis assessed that the intrusion likely was undertaken through the use of equipment. Of a prominent spyware product identified in other Saudi surveillance cases, such as the NSO's group's Pegasus 3 malware, a product widely reported to have been purchased and deployed by Saudi officials. We've reported on the NSO group. We've reached out to them multiple times. They don't want to talk to me, apparently. And they don't want to talk to anyone, quite frankly. There's lawsuits pending, and so we completely understand that. This Saudi case has been headline news, specifically because it links the Saudi government to Jeff Bezos and the hacking, allegedly. Like I say, allegedly, this hasn't been confirmed by any law enforcement agencies. It's by a third party that was hired by Jeff Bezos to investigate this and put out a report that should be non-biased. I say that because when you come here, you're not here getting an opinion. You're getting the actual facts of this. We don't know this to be true. We're reporting this because this is headlining, and it's all the media saying Saudis hacked Bezos. If this was an FBI or a DOJ investigation, which it should have been because Bezos is a U.S. citizen, and if he was hacked, then we should know about it. Having said that, this is a serious issue that we should be addressing. And finally, to our final story of the day. Over 2,000 WordPress sites have been hacked to fuel a campaign to redirect visitors to scam sites containing unwanted browser notification subscriptions, fake surveys, giveaways, and fake Adobe Flash downloads. This hacking campaign was discovered by website security firm Sucuri, who detected attackers exploiting vulnerabilities in WordPress plugins during the third week of this month. Sucuri researcher Luke Leak, it's a cool name, Luke Leak, said that some of the vulnerable plugins seen being exploited are the CP contact form with PayPal and the Simple Fields plugins, but we were told that other plugins are likely being targeted as well. When exploited, the vulnerabilities allow the attackers to inject a JavaScript that loads script from admarketlocation.com and go to second2.com directly into the site's theme, as shown in some of the code we have posted here. When a visitor accesses the hacked site, the injected script will attempt to access a specific part of the admin settings to inject further script or change WordPress settings that also redirect the visitor. These URL, those require administrative access, so they will only successfully work if an administrator is accessing the site. Everyone else will instead be redirected through a series of sites that eventually land them on various scam pages like surveys, stuff like that you're seeing now on the screen. And test against one of these hack sites. We were commonly redirected to a scam site that told users that they needed to subscribe to browse notifications to proceed. In addition to ejecting the JavaScript, Sucuri also found that the attackers created fake plugin directories that are used to upload further malware to the compromised sites. Another interesting find is the creation of fake plugin directories that contain further malware and can also be generated through the attacker's abuse, namely by uploading compressed zip files using the WordPress admin to perform the upload and unzipping of the compressed fake plugins. The most common folders seen are the WordPress content plugins and the super social plugins for social media. If you're on a WordPress site and you're concerned, Sucuri recommends that you use their free site check tool to scan your site for malicious content. The tool will scan the site and generate a report about any malicious content that was detected, which you can use to clean your compromised site through. So Sucuri has that free tool available for you, and you can obviously see all of that on our website. That's it for your daily cyber briefing today. We ran a little bit over time, but there was so much stuff to talk to you guys about today. So make sure you subscribe, give us 5 stars. This is going to be an amazing, amazing week. Tomorrow we've got Nigel joining us for our Friday wrap-up. Nigel Smart, who will be joining us from Unbound, one of the most brilliant cryptography people on the planet. Well, we'll be talking about ransomware and these new strains that encrypt your backups and what you can do just about that. So you'll hear from Industry Insights tomorrow with Nigel from Unbound. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. TGIF is just around the corner, and stay cyber safe.